You've heard from an Indiana mother who's fighting to bring her children back from Cyprus. Well, now we're hearing her ex-husband's side of the story. Police have just reopened Meridian Street between 21st and 22nd Street. I'm in the WishTV.com news center now, where we're gathering information as it comes in ahead of this storm. And we do have a couple of closings we want to pass along to you. And I'm Dustin Grove. We've got some rain in parts of central Indiana this morning, and we're talking about a chance of storms for the rest of your holiday weekend. Let's get right to meteorologist David Wire, who's in for Ken this morning. Morning, David. The company describes itself as a health improvement organization. Its grand opening expected in March. Next time you visit the BMV, if you pay close attention, you'll notice you may have gotten some money back. Another calm and quiet day across central Indiana today, and tonight would be a perfect night to get outside and enjoy the weather. It's going to continue. Meteorologist Rob Ellis is here tracking a gorgeous evening ahead. Rob? Yeah. Service dogs are lifesavers for people with disabilities. You know, they've been used for years for people who are blind. Auto theft cases in general are difficult to investigate. Nationally, out of every 10 cars stolen, usually only one is recovered and the criminal caught. Firefighters with the Hamilton County Rescue Task Force only do this kind of training a couple of times a year. And Debbie, we're not only talking about sugary drinks, but fried foods too. More than 100 hospitals across the country are considering removing these items, including right here next month. The mayor wants panhandlers, whether they're asking for your change or just holding a sign, out of downtown Indianapolis.
We had just paid it off. It's a 2008.
Today, Kim Bartholomew is thankful the Saturn SUV she has paid off is back in her garage. For weeks, she never thought she'd see it again.
It was very scary. It still is scary.
Thieves prowling her Greenwood neighborhood climbed into her husband's unlocked truck, grabbed a spare key to her car.
My valet key was in his console.
And took off. 3 weeks later, an undercover officer told her he'd found it. He bought it on the street for just $900.
Thanks for coming out this morning.
Wednesday morning, prosecutors announced charges against 5 men for stealing 7 cars from across the area. There was Kim's car, plus another one stolen in a carjacking in Indianapolis from a car rental agency and a car dealership in Plainfield. Authorities say the men then sold them.
And for literally almost pennies on the dollar.
Police wouldn't tell us what led them to these guys because it's an ongoing investigation, but they call it a big deal. Auto theft cases in general are difficult to investigate. Nationally, out of every 10 cars stolen, usually only one is recovered and the criminal caught. In this case,
this was in fact a collaborative effort.
Successful teamwork between 3 police agencies and the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Police say in many of these cases, the victims left their cars unattended and running, or in Kim's case, left a vehicle unlocked and a key inside.
Check the locks on your cars. I know sometimes it's easy to forget, especially when you think you live in a safe neighborhood, but I guess in this economy, anything goes.
Tonight, 4 of the 5 suspects in this undercover sting are in custody. This man is not. 26-year-old Jamison Scott. If you've seen him, call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. Now, we did some digging today to find out just how big of an issue auto theft is here, and we found out the numbers are actually down. Down so far this year about 4%, but authorities say if more people just double check to make sure your car doors are locked, your valuables are not inside in view, those numbers will go down even further. Live on the near north side tonight, Dustin Grove, 24-hour News 8.
Have a good night, ladies.
At the corner of Illinois and Ohio.
Have a good night, guys. God bless.
A few hours a day, a few days a week, you'll find Brad.
Thank you.
Asking you for help, panhandling, he says, to eat and pay for bus fare to find a job.
So $112 for the bus to fill out applications. $30 is the cheapest that I can find to get a phone to stay active. So you're talking, that's $150 a month for me to live in my tent and look for work, and that doesn't count food.
Downtown panhandlers aren't hard to find, but Mayor Greg Ballard says most of the people asking for your money aren't homeless at all.
Many of them even have shift changes. Most panhandling downtown and on our intersections is a racket. It's a racket, and it needs to stop.
So he's calling for a solicitation-free zone that would cover downtown and also include the area around Lucas Oil Stadium and Victory Field. No one could ask for money, hold up signs, or show cups. But the ACLU says, hold on.
And to say now that they cannot at all, I think is a real problem.
They say it's about free speech.
Businesses can still have their placards on the street saying, Sandwich special today, $4.95. Well, why can't a person who is seeking money put a placard on the sidewalk saying, please give me $4.95? For purposes of the First Amendment, those are viewed exactly the same.
Brad says he understands concerns about aggressive panhandlers, those who seem threatening.
So that kind of stuff, absolutely. Send them to jail, stop that, that would be great. You know, but just sitting here, minding my own business, I think it's fine.
The mayor says his proposal was modeled after similar ordinances in other cities like Dallas, Fort Lauderdale, and Austin, Texas. We spoke with several businesses today whose owners or managers supported the proposal, but we also talked with the vice president of the city county council. He says as it's proposed, he's not so sure. He thinks it might need to be dialed back a little bit. He says he wants to get more input from the public before moving forward. Live downtown tonight, Dustin Grove, 24-hour News 8. And that fire is now out. A few fire crews are still on the scene, making sure it is secure. They had it under control really in just a couple of minutes, and they were able to contain it to just one corner of that 12-unit building you see there. 2 units heavily damaged, and there may be some minor damage to some other units nearby. We want to show you some cell phone video shot moments after that fire started. Crews from Pike Township, Wayne Township, and the Indianapolis Fire Department were all here to fight the flames. They say it started on a second-floor unit and then also spread into a third-floor unit right above. One person, as you mentioned, was trapped for about 10 to 15 minutes on his third-floor balcony across the hall from the fire. I talked to him and his girlfriend. He told me he didn't even know there was a fire until his girlfriend pulled into the parking lot, saw what was happening, called him, and told him to get out.
They brung up the ladder, climbed down, and I was safe.
What were you thinking?
Gotta get down. I gotta get down.
Hopefully a lot of stuff didn't get damaged, you know. Hopefully we can recover some of our stuff.
Again, 2 units heavily damaged, maybe some minor damage, but really it was just contained to a corner of the building there. Families from 10 units will have to find somewhere else to stay tonight. The apartment complex is working with them to help them do that. No word on a cause at this point, but again, the important thing, no reported injuries. Live from the northwest side tonight, Dustin Grove, 24-hour News 8.